A few of our students have gathered around, and we've heard the rumor that there may or may not be a summer session, and we're trying to get as much information on the issue as we can. Do you have any just general information on why there would not be a summer session?
Right now, it's always going to be dependent upon how much money is in the budget for this, for summer. We do want a summer session. Last summer was dramatically less than the summer before, because of course this year we have less money coming from the state to fund our sections. That said, though, here are two actions that we're doing now to make sure that if money is found, that we have the right sections in the right places. We have two committees on campus. One is, of course, ASER that you're familiar with. I've asked ASER to give me a recommendation on what summer courses that they think we should offer. And it's just a recommendation only from them, and see what we can fund. But we also have a committee called the Enrollment Management Committee. And we have asked them, and I have asked them to figure out through the deans and the faculty what sections would we need to offer this summer to meet student needs. Mm-hmm. And at that point, then we'll try to put a figure in the budget to accommodate that. So we are very actively trying to find out now how much money is needed for summer, what courses we need to help students progress through our system so that they're successful, and then also then trying to identify those funds. We have already identified funds with nursing for the summer.
So is that a for sure go?
Mm-hmm. And you'll find that in the budget. So that money has been set aside for LVN. Now all we have to do is figure out how much money is now needed for the rest of the campus, for example, in our transfer programs and CTE programs. We have an idea, somewhat a rough idea of how many sections are needed, but I need some more input prior to making a formal recommendation to the president on what we should do. So we're actively trying to do this, to fix this.
Mm-hmm. What kind of inputs are you looking for?
I really want to find out what students' needs are, making sure that the schedule itself is student-centered and not budget-centered. Mm-hmm. So my job, quite frankly, is to ask students and the rest of the faculty what sections they see, because there are boots on the ground, if you will, with students, mm-hmm. what they think we should be offering. And then the overall committee will take a look at it for district-wide and figure out how many sections should be offered at which locations, and then try to pass that on for a budget figure. So we're actually trying to plan to make sure that it meets student needs. For example, we're trying to make sure that the fiscal restraints, that we are going to address the fiscal issues, but not on the backs of students. So we're actually saying, okay, if we have tight budgets, how do we best use our very tight monies to its most effective use? Just like at home budgets. If I don't have enough money, I have to pick and choose if I have Sunlink or we have food on the table. Or I give more money to my grandson. It's always my grandson.
So do you think that if we had some classes here during the summer, there would be classes at other campuses?
That is our hope. That is our hope. Of course, on Eureka's campus, this is where the major population is. So we have had a list of courses that we think we need here. Mm-hmm. And I'm still waiting for some information from Del Norte Mendocino and Klamath Trinity. So we're starting to get a fairly firm idea of what's needed and how much money we'll need to do that.
Does each campus have its own fund, or is CR just one giant fund altogether?
Very perceptive question. CR is just one giant fund, but each site also has different funds under it. For example, Del Norte has their own allocation of funds, both in personnel as well as supplies and also sections. So really it's the whole district funding, but we break it out by location.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that our CR would be able to offer different classes to the campus, or if nursing program is here, nursing program is going to be in Klamath Falls?
No, because what we're going to do is make sure that we meet student needs at each location. So even though we have an LVN here, of course, this is the main campus for LVN. Mm-hmm. LVN really isn't offered anywhere else except for Del Norte, case-by-case, class-by-class basis. So we're actually going to take a serious look at what's best for students and how can we meet the whole district responsibility. For example, if we were going to offer History 8 or 9 class, does it behoove us, if we have finite funds, to offer an online 8 or 9 for the whole district to partake of, or just a seat time 8 or 9 that only one location can? So those are the questions that the EMC will have to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Now, how do you find out the answers to exactly the students' needs? How do you dig in the students and find out what they really need?
I have asked your student government to give me a recommendation how to do that. To say, okay, because they're the student representatives. Mm-hmm. What do they think we should offer? So I'm going to rely on the student government to help us do this. But also we're asking the faculty, because they're with you on a daily basis, what they're seeing and what we need to do. So from the faculty to the deans and then to our committee structure.